and welcome to Time Capsule, Stories that Shape the Era. I'm your host, Alex Monroe, and I'm excited to take you on a journey back in time to one of the most iconic moments in music history. Today, we're diving into the year 1964 and revisiting the legendary appearance of the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. Join me as we explore how America first met the Fab Four and the lasting impact they had on the music industry and popular culture. So sit back, relax, and let's delve into the electrifying world of 1964. In 1964, America was a country in the midst of change. The post-war economic boom had created a sense of optimism and prosperity, but at the same time, the nation was grappling with social and cultural shifts. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum, challenging long-standing racial segregation and discrimination. The country was also deeply embroiled in the Cold War, with tensions running high between the United States and the Soviet Union. It was against this backdrop of uncertainty and transformation that the Beatles burst onto the American music scene. Their arrival brought a sense of joy and excitement to a nation hungry for something new and hopeful. The blend of infectious melodies, energetic performances, and youthful exuberance offered a welcome distraction from the complex issues facing the country. As the band made their iconic appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show, they captivated millions of viewers and forever altered the cultural landscape. The impact of their performance was more than just musical. It embodied a sense of liberation and possibility that resonated with an entire generation. The Beatles' influence extended beyond music, shaping fashion, attitudes, and even language. In 1964, America was on the brink of a new era, and the Beatles' arrival symbolized a collective yearning for change and adventure. Their music became the soundtrack to a nation in flux, offering a source of unity and joy during a time of uncertainty. The Beatles on Ed Sullivan was a defining moment that forever altered the course of American popular culture. The Beatles were a groundbreaking and influential British rock band that took the world by storm in the 1960s. Consisting of four members, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, the band's catchy tunes, charming personalities, and iconic haircuts quickly won over fans on both sides of the Atlantic. John Lennon, the band's co-founder, was known for his raw and introspective songwriting, while Paul McCartney's melodic sensibilities and dynamic stage presence made him a standout performer. George Harrison's innovative guitar work and spiritual exploration added depth to the group's sound, and Ringo Starr's steady drumming provided the rhythmic foundation for their music. Together, they created a musical revolution that transcended borders and generations. With hits like I Want to Hold Your Hand, She Loves You, and Can't Buy Me Love, the Beatles became synonymous with the vibrant energy and optimism of the 1960s. Their impact on popular culture cannot be overstated, and to this day, their music continues to inspire and captivate audiences around the world. The Beatles were more than just a band. They were a cultural phenomenon that forever changed the landscape of music and entertainment. All right, so let's talk about the journey that led to the Beatles' iconic appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1964. Before their American debut on that legendary broadcast, the Beatles had already taken the UK by storm with their hit songs and energetic live performances. In 1963, Beatlemania had reached fever pitch in Britain, and their record sales were soaring. The Fab Four's infectious music and charismatic personalities had captured the hearts of fans across the pond. With their catchy tunes and trademark mop-top hairstyles, they were on the brink of becoming a global phenomenon. When news broke that the Beatles were headed to the United States, the excitement was palpable. The media buzz surrounding their arrival was unprecedented, and expectations were sky-high. On February 7, 1964, when the Beatles finally touched down in New York, the frenzy reached a new peak. As the Beatles made their way to the Ed Sullivan Theatre for their historic performance, throngs of screaming fans lined the streets, eager to catch a glimpse of their musical idols. The energy was electric, and the anticipation was at a boiling point. Finally, on that fateful evening of February 9th, 1964, when the Beatles took the stage on the Ed Sullivan Show, it was a moment that would change music history forever. With an estimated 73 million people tuning in, it was the most watched television event of its time. The Beatles' appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show catapulted them to superstardom in America and signaled the beginning of the British invasion. Their infectious melodies and exuberant charm won over the hearts of millions, and the rest, as they say, is rock and roll history. The Beatles' appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show on February 9th, 1964, marked a pivotal moment in music history. As the Fab Four took to the stage, their energy and charisma permeated through the television screens, captivating the hearts and minds of millions of Americans. It was a performance that changed everything. The band's infectious melodies and dynamic stage presence sparked a frenzy among fans, igniting a cultural phenomenon known as Beatlemania. The impact was felt not just in the world of music, but across the broader cultural landscape. The Beatles' groundbreaking performance on the Ed Sullivan Show opened the doors for British invasion, forever altering the course of popular music and leaving an indelible mark on American culture. It was a turning point that solidified the Beatles' status as global icons and set the stage for their unprecedented influence on the music industry. The Beatles' appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show in February 1964 was a historic moment that changed the course of music history in America. Following their explosive performance, Beatlemania gripped the nation in a way that had never been seen before. Suddenly, teenagers across the country were sporting Beatles haircuts, donning mod clothing, and obsessing over the Fab Four's every move. The band's infectious melodies and charismatic personalities won over American audiences almost instantly, and their impact was felt far beyond the realm of music. The Beatles became a cultural phenomenon, influencing fashion, art, and even language, as their unique slang and witty quips found their way into everyday conversation. Throughout the country, stadiums and concert halls were filled to capacity as fans clamored to catch a glimpse of John, Paul, George, and Ringo. The energy and excitement of Beatlemania was like a tidal wave that swept across the nation, leaving an indelible mark on the American psyche. As the Beatles continued to churn out hit after hit, their influence on pop culture only grew stronger. They paved the way for countless other British invasion bands and left an enduring legacy that still resonates today. America had truly fallen under the spell of the Fab Four, and the impact of their arrival on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1964 is still being felt more than half a century later. The Beatles' performance on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1964 was a pivotal moment in both music and cultural history. It marked the beginning of the British invasion, introducing American audiences to a new sound and fashion that would forever change the music industry. Their appearance on the show not only showcased their talent and charisma, but also highlighted the immense influence their music had on an entire generation. The energy and enthusiasm of their performance captivated viewers, igniting a phenomenon that would soon sweep the nation. Beyond the music itself, the Beatles' impact extended beyond the airwaves, influencing everything from fashion to social attitudes. Their arrival in America represented the breaking down of cultural barriers and the birth of a global youth culture that transcended national borders. The lasting impact of that night can still be felt today, as the Beatles continue to be celebrated as one of the most influential bands in history. Their music continues to inspire and resonate with new generations, proving that the cultural and musical impact of their appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show is truly timeless. Wow, it's amazing to hear all these incredible stories about that iconic night when America met the Fab Four for the first time. It seems like February 9th, 1964 holds a very special place in the hearts of so many people. This was a turning point in music history, and it's so inspiring to hear about the impact it had on individuals across the country. The way you all vividly described the excitement and electricity in the air is truly captivating. It's as if I could feel the anticipation and the thrill myself. The images of families gathered around the TV, young and old alike, eagerly awaiting the moment when the Beatles would grace the stage. It's almost like I'm right there with you. And the personal connections that some of you shared, whether it was a first dance with a loved one, a cherished moment with family, or even the spark of a lifelong passion for music being ignited. These are the kinds of stories that really bring that historic night to life. I can imagine that for those of you who were lucky enough to attend the live show, the memory is indelible. The energy, the screams, the infectious joy, all woven into the fabric of your memories. What a moment to have been a part of. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences. It's fascinating to hear how this one incredible event brought so many people together in different ways. Your stories truly add depth and richness to the legacy of the Beatles' debut on The Ed Sullivan Show. Keep those memories alive. As we reflect on the impact of the Beatles' appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1964, it's clear that their influence changed the course of music history. Their performance not only captivated the hearts of millions of viewers, but it also marked the beginning of the British invasion in the United States. Their infectious melodies, innovative songwriting, and charismatic personalities propelled them to international stardom. And their music continues to resonate with audiences across generations. Their contributions to popular culture are unparalleled, and their influence can still be heard in the work of countless artists today. The Beatles' appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show was a momentous occasion that forever altered the landscape of popular music. It sparked a revolution and paved the way for countless bands to follow in their footsteps. Their impact on music, fashion, and culture is undeniable, and their legacy continues to inspire and entertain audiences around the world. As we look back at this historic event, it's clear that the Beatles' performance on The Ed Sullivan Show was a defining moment, not only for the band, but for the music industry as a whole. Their enduring impact serves as a reminder of the power of music to unite and inspire, and their influence will continue to be felt for years to come. That's all for today's trip down memory lane, folks. We hope you enjoyed revisiting the legendary Beatles performance on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1964. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll be diving into the cultural impact of Woodstock in 1969. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for listening, and keep rocking on.